Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 17th November 2020. We are into the revision mode and we are revising now after having completed chapter number 8, cell and its organelles, functions and structure, all that. We are moving ahead with chapter number 9, biomolecules, another important chapter. Biomolecule, the chemical molecules that are present inside us and help us to be alive. So basically biomolecules are chemical molecules present in the living organism, and they are known as because they help in bios, in having our life and in continuing our life. Biomolecules are basically divided into two types: inorganic and organic. As you are studying in chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic, carbon and its compounds, other than that inorganic. So inorganic biomolecules include minerals, gases and water. Organic biomolecules include carbohydrates, carbon is there, fats, proteins, nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, and vitamins. These are this. So different biomolecules can be classified as based on the functional group. I am sure you must be studying in your chemistry functional groups: aldehyde, CHO, ketones, C double bond O, aromatic compounds as chemical forms, aroma, nice smell, good smell, aromatic compounds. So the amino acids, nucleotides and fatty acids can be classified as biochemical forms. So basically, based on the size, the biomolecules are classified into two types: micromolecules and macromolecules, means big sized ones. Of course, don't think it is in kgs. Macro means comparatively they are big, in milligrams only. So the micromolecules include water, gases, sugars, amino acids and nucleotides. The macromolecules, carbohydrates, lipids, proteins and nucleic acids, they are heavy in nature, that's why. So except lipids, macromolecules are formed by polymerization. Polymer, monomer, many monomers join together to form a polymer. Poly means many, that the process is polymerization, and the monomers are always joined together to form a polymer. Proteins are polymers of amino acids. All of us know amino acids are monomers, like you have seen amino acids in our previous chapter also we discussed. Amino acids are linked by peptide bond formed by dehydration, means loss of water molecule between COOH, here you can see COOH of one amino acid and NH3 of another next adjacent amino acid by removing H2O, and that's how the peptide bond is formed. So here you can see the loss of water here, H2O and COOH group, oic acid group and amino group. So between the amino group and oic acid group, OH plus H, H2O loss, and peptide bond is formed. This is how polymerization takes place. In nucleic acids, the phosphate molecules link third carbon of sugar of one nucleotide to the fifth prime of the carbon of sugar of the next nucleosides, releasing two water molecules to form 3', 5' phosphodiester bond, as you are seeing here. So here one sugar molecule, another sugar molecule. So here it is third carbon, another is fifth carbon, and H plus OH, H2O, one water is lost. So there is a bond between the two adjacent monosaccharides, and this is called glycosidic link. So in polysaccharide, saccharide means sugar, the monosaccharides are linked by glycosidic bonds formed by dehydration between two carbon atoms of adjacent monosaccharides. Next, we go to carbohydrates. These are polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are long chains of sugars containing different monosaccharides as building blocks, like carbohydrate, polysaccharide, homopolysaccharides such as starch, glycogen, cellulose, and homopolysaccharides. Here, the chitin, sucrose, lactose, etc. The starch that is present in plants as storehouse of energy. It forms helical secondary structure. It can hold the half molecule of the helical structure. Starch is the basic food of the plant. Cellulose molecules contain glucose molecules joined together by 1,4-beta linkase. It is the most abundant organic molecules on the earth, cellulose. And glycogen is called animal starch, as it is the reserve food materials for animals, bacteria and fungus. In this, glucose molecules are arranged in highly branched bush-like chain having two types of linkage, 1,4-alpha in straight chain and 1,6 linkage in branching. All this we discussed in the videos. You can just refer to the videos that we have reflected upon during our coverage of the syllabus. Proteins are polypeptide chains made up of amino acids. Amino acid is a monomer. Many amino acids join together to form proteins. And as all of us know, there are 20 types of amino acids joined together by peptide bond between amino group, NH group, and carboxylic group. There are two kinds of amino acids. What are those? Essential amino acids. They are required. And they are obtained by living organism along with the food. That's why we must be careful about what we eat and how we eat, of course, being a biology boy, And then second one, non-essential amino acids can be prepared by our own body from raw materials. And the basic amino acids is three structures. You need to practice this. So centrally there is a carbon atom, and tetravalency. Carbon has got 4 lone electrons, and each lone electron will pair with another lone electron of another say atom or a compound. If it is atom like hydrogen, you are saying. If it is a compound, you are saying NH2. So glycine is formed in this way. And what is important here is carboxylic group, COOH group is there and amino group is there. So carbon is exhibiting tetravalency here. And similarly alanine, you can see here again the COOH group, NH2 group, only difference is functional group. In this here, hydrogen is there. Here, CH3 is there, methane. And of course, hydrogen is common. And next, serine, again, COH is common, NH2 common, hydrogen carbon, and fourth bond is CH2OH. This is serine. So the main functions of proteins in living cell are transport of nutrients across the membrane, fight infectious organism. This is very, very important. That's why we must have proteinaceous food. Being biology boys, you should take lot of proteins inside. You can reduce carbohydrates, you can reduce definitely fats, but take vitamins and proteins. Your food should contain these two. And why? Why proteins? This is the thing. Fight infectious, fight corona, COVID-19. Yes. So a lot of protein intake should be there, and advise people in your home, particularly you start off anything from your home. The home members who are present, your family members, please tell them that they must have a lot of proteinaceous food. And then of course, thanks to them, because they produce enzymes, and enzymes are like cricket umpires, cricket umpires will ensure that the game goes on smoothly, and enzymes also will ensure that rate of reaction will be faster and the desired products will be formed quickly. And collagen, all of you know, is the most abundant protein in the animal world, and thanks to collagen, because many tissues are getting connective tissue. So basically proteins are classified into 4 types: primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. So primary structure of protein is the basic structure of protein in which number of polypeptides are involved having sequence of amino acids. The first amino acid of sequence is called N-terminal amino acid, and the last amino acid of peptide chain is called C-terminal amino acid. N-terminal and C-terminal, and this is how the structure will be there, N-terminal and C-terminal. In secondary structure protein, threads forms helix as you are seeing. Therefore, these are three types of secondary structures: alpha helix, beta pleated, and collagen. In a helix, the polypeptide chain is coiled spirally in right-hand manner. And in beta pleated secondary proteins, two or more polypeptide chains are interconnected by hydrogen bonds. And in collagen, there are three strands or polypeptides coiled around one another by hydrogen bonds. And in tertiary structure, final structure, long protein chain is folded upon, as you are seeing here, and folds upon itself like a hollow woolen ball to give 3D view of the protein. So you can see the secondary structure and tertiary. In quaternary structure, each polypeptide develops its own tertiary structure and function as subunit of protein. Example, our own hemoglobin. See, it's a protein, very important protein. It's present, as all of you know, in our blood, RBC, red blood corpuscles, and hemoglobin plays crucial role in absorbing oxygen, and it forms oxyhemoglobin, and whichever blood has got oxyhemoglobin, that's considered as pure blood. So in adult human, hemoglobin 4 subunits are involved. The 2 subunits are alpha type and 2 subunits are beta types. This is the structure of hemoglobin. So in our next class, we will discuss about nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. So what is important here is that we need to have a lot of proteinaceous diet. So keep on